were always in character. You'd never see them sitting in a corner in a diner somewhere being bummed out. Their lights were always on bright.
We went in to see David Bowie once, and she just stole the show, just walking in the place. We walked in the place, and the light went on us coming in. When he was with Ziggy Stardust, we went in this big auditorium, and we stole the show. We used to sneak in the Grammys. We snuck in the Grammys and Country Music Awards. You know, just went there, and somebody in the parking lot was from the Pancake Man says, "Oh, have you got a ticket?" No. We walked in with them, and, okay, see you later. And then we were in, you know. Well, another time we just got there real early before they were even looking, and we just walked in the back door and stayed in the bathroom until it started, and then walked out of the bathroom and we were there. So we used to crash parties and stuff.
The girls have had several encounters with Metro's police, resulting in one arrest for hitchhiking and countless threatened busts for such misdemeanors as indecent exposure and vagrancy.
We got busted one time for hitchhiking. We hitchhiked all the time. It was the only way we got around. But we said we weren't hitchhiking. Star said she was waving at her fan.
Well, cars were stopping anyway. It was kind of a natural transition.
So they went to court, and they found us guilty. Then the Civil Liberties Union, oh, they loved us. Civil Liberties Union got a hold of us, and they took us to court the second time. The second time they found me innocent and her guilty, which guilty meant we paid a $20 fine. And when they busted us, we went to the jail, and I had the sword on the whole time. I never took the sword off, and they says, "Here, make as many calls you want. Get your fucking asses out of here. I don't want to book all this shit."
They all gathered around when we were in the cells. All these cops and everyone, they were on the other side of the cell and said, "Look at them. Well, look at those girls," I'd say to George. And she'd be standing on her head and say, "Star, give them a dance." And I'd have it. And we started entertaining, doing our act behind bars for the cops. They loved us. And so the arrests, of course, you know, they ceased. And they ended up loving us. If you're a little bit of a show-off and you start getting attention, well, you know, you create your own monster.
But to come and unleash that on a town that was just starting to get the touches from the outside world of the revolution that was about to take place, it was like, it was a big thing. It blew people's minds. It blew people's minds who even considered themselves hipsters and hippies and had done everything.
The social climate was, there are no rules. Civil disobedience was somewhat the order of the day. Whatever you're doing, right or wrong, just do it. And that's why you're doing it. And it's the only reason you need to do it. Because you believe it, you were inspired to do it, and if you believe it and you believe you were inspired to do it, then do it.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hippies, yippies, zippies, sickies, and freebies are expected to turn out in legions tonight for the premiere of Nashville's first prefrontal musical film, The Lobotomy, at the Exit Inn.
We thought, we're so brilliant. Why are we broke? Let's think of some way to generate money. And so we decided to write a musical, and we started right then and there writing The Lobotomy, a musical operation.
We made up these little mimeograph tickets for the lobotomy. We sold them to everybody in town for $1. You know, we hadn't written the play yet. But we sold it to everybody, millions of them. We sold them to everybody. You know, some of them about 4 or 5, you know. And finally the time came where we had to do the play, you know.
They did probably Nashville's first underground kind of film. It was called The Lobotomy.
I'd introduce the cast, but I don't know who the fuck they are. Now bring up numbers.
The Silk was a doctor, and Star was a nurse, and she had balloons for tits, so they were like out here, and then he ended up biting them, and they'd pop and stuff, all kinds of stupid stuff. And the songs were like, "Easy Cutting." We just took songs and changed them around. So let's go to the lobotomy. Let's go to the lobotomy.
A young woman named George, who emceed the show, explained that a lobotomy is an operation to sever nerves in the brain to relieve anxieties. She suggested that people who have had the operation become emotional vegetables.
Get on the table, you idiot.
Suture!
Suture yourself!
Scalpel!
It was sold out for 2 nights in a row. We made a lot for us at the time, a lot of money. And then we had the premiere, the film, The Lobotomy, the musical operation. And it was fantastic.
Hello there, Dolly!
Hi, partner!
Everyone in the audience started throwing shit. You know, they brought tomatoes, they brought shredded lettuce, they brought all kinds of shit. And so when they started throwing stuff, Star and Zilch started throwing it back. So there's shit coming back and forth. And this time it was videotaped.
Dr. Zilch has a BS, NFD, NVD, NFC, NVDD, NFTP, plus a Pete Drake autographed steel guitar string.
She had an autographed steel guitar string from Pete Drake. Now, how can you autograph a string? But that was in the movie, and everybody just howled.
Oh, it's such a thrill and a pleasure being here. Where are we again? Oh no, I really love the Deep South. Oh God, this is about as deep as you can go. Didn't we live together in our last lifetime?
Because here's the steel guitar player that played on Stand By Your Man and all these great records, but he also played on Lay Lady Lay.
1969, I got a phone call one day from my secretary buzzed me and said, George Harrison wants you on the phone. And I said, where's he from? She says, England. I said, what company is he with? She said, the Beatles.
So Pete Drake had one foot in the establishment and the other foot in the underground, and he was very much in touch with what was going on the street.
Pete was just a wacky guy, and he, really expansive, and any chance he ever got to do anything out of the ordinary, he would jump on it.
I approached Pete Drake at the Pancake Man and said, we want you to be our producer. Will you be our producer? And he said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Just like that. And it took him a while. I mean, we had to keep asking him constantly, when are you going to produce us? Every night at the Pancake Man was when we'd have our business meetings. And George would force me, as usual, go talk to Pete. I'd have to oh, God, go up to Pete. Pete, when are we going to go into the studio? This would be 3 o'clock in the Pancake Man. And everybody looked, oh, God, there she is again.
Oh. So what do you think of Nashville, having been here for a while?
Oh, it's brutal, heartless, tragic. What it's done to me, it's changed me. It's made me into a hardened person. It's killed all my sensitivity. If it weren't that I was so religious, I would have ended up in a nut house.
Pete, over a period of time, started believing in us, or so he seemed.
Management Agreement, 23rd day of November. Company hereby employs artist as a recording artist and musician for the purpose of making master recordings from which...
After months, finally, we went into the studio.
All little animals, I hate meat, baby.